Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so just be aware parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, take what works for you and leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. So we're beginning with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, which is the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles energy is, it's saying sow some seeds so that you can harvest later. This is also talking sometimes, it's about the give and take of life. It's representing the pentacle energy. Pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. And of course, money is a big part of that. But you could have all the money in the world, and if you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, then you're not going to be living your best lifestyle. And this is talking about the give and take and required for that. This person is learning the art of discernment. He has 6 pentacles, which would be like upper middle class, and he's willing to give to charity. But he's giving to this person, but not this one. This person, he feels, is going to take this and be grateful for it and improve their life with it. Whereas this person, he has the scales of justice above this person's head. And if you look closer, you can see that this one has something in his pocket. So it's talking about, you know, a grifter. It's time to get to work and take what you do have and put it to work. So that's, he's not going to give this person money, but he will this. Sometimes this card can also represent an energy of you feeling like you're being breadcrumbed, not being paid enough, not having the lifestyle that you want. And then we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is one of the 4 knights that represents communication or information coming in. The knights would ride far and wide throughout the kingdoms to deliver messages. Back in those days, that was the only form of communication, long distance. And so this energy is talking about the element of air. The sword represents mental intelligence and discipline of the mind, your thought process. And this Knight of Swords, he's either in a panic, he's running from something or to something very quickly. Sometimes this is considered an energy of a fool rushing in. We can see here by his sword that we can only see half of it. And so does he only have half the information or half the communication? And we can't see the point, and we wonder, can he see it? He has a red flag on the back of his helmet, and he's pushing this horse very, very hard. And the horse is clearly stressed out, and this represents emotional state and your passion and how you love. And this is talking about running against the wind through barren land. So whatever this is, like almost like press the panic button. You can just feel it, the anxiety coming off this card. And the communication coming in the old days, this would always be in person. But nowadays, there's so many forms, so it wouldn't have to necessarily be someone delivering a message to you in person. This can represent a phone call or a text message. Maybe you get something in the mail or a delivery. Perhaps an email. You're on social media, someone messages you, you go to an event and meet someone, then you meet in person and they have exactly the information that you need. Sometimes this card can represent like spy energy, investigative energy, hidden cameras, technology used to spy, that type of energy. Not always, but sometimes it can. And we have lovers. So the lovers are, this is a divine couple that has been ordained by God. The sun represents God's energy, and here's an angel like bringing them together basically. And we have a cloud in between them. The cloud represents an energy. Maybe this is probably someone you don't know, or if you do know them, you haven't had an intimate relationship with them in the past. And then this is the energy of the Eight of Swords. And now the Eight of Swords is having to make a really difficult decision, having trouble making a decision as well. So she's duty bound, bound up here, but really there's nothing stopping her from walking forward. This can say that her mind, this is more like a mental prison. And sometimes being duty bound means that she has to make decisions about people she loves, and she doesn't really want to have to make them. She doesn't want to have to see the truth because it's painful for her to see. And in the beginning, in tarot, when you have water, it represents emotion. And I feel there was a lot more emotion here when she started, but now there's only 7 swords and she's got this 8th one. And I feel this 8th one is the one that she's going to take action. She's making her decision, and then she'll cut herself loose here. Now you notice she has her back to her castle and possibly to her home, and she's also so this can represent all the thoughts that she's put behind her now, and she only has this one left. And when she first started, there was way more emotion, and now she's got her right foot forward, saying she's ready to move forward, and it's on dry land. But her left foot is still in this shallow puddle here. Now I'm not saying her emotions are shallow, but she has way less emotion than when she first started this process. And she's getting ready to move forward with this one action. Also, this sometimes can represent the thoughts of other people that are directed behind her back. And we have the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups energy is talking about, this is a wonderful life, like a fulfillment after a lot of hardship. And it represents like a potential to have all the love in your life that you want, like having the companion, the children, pets, living in a beautiful neighborhood, having a career that you love, people around you that you love, that type of energy. But it's saying that you're going to have to put energy into the situation and clear some, whatever this is, up to be able to, have that fulfillment. And would you be absolutely 100% fulfilled 24/7? Probably not. But this is saying fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. And we have the King of Wands. King of Wands energy is representing someone who's very visionary, enjoying what they do, charismatic. He's considered the most sexy of all the kings, and he has, his wand is made of wood, and it's regarding passionate action. And you can see he's ready to get up at a moment's notice. He, as I said, is a visionary, so he loves adventure, tackling new projects. He's very much, someone that everybody really enjoys his company, because he's someone that has a lot of charisma, and he has a good sense of humor, and his optimism is contagious. We have the salamander running by here, and these salamanders with the circle are representing protection from fire. This the element here is fire. Wood feeds the fire. And a while back I noticed on this, on the back of his throne, there's like a face here, and it's like 2 eyes, there's a mustache, and then there's smoke coming out. And this could just mean he's smoking hot, because he is, but it also could represent the energy of where there's smoke, there's fire. So one thing to know about the King of Wands is he's the last to mature. Of all the kings, he would be the one that would get married later in life or settle down later in life. He's more likely to be the one playing the field, well, because he can. And he enjoys his freedom. And so sometimes this person is someone that takes a long time to settle down. And the Hangman is talking about wanting to get a different perspective on something. So he climbs the tree and he hangs himself from his feet so that he can get an upside down view and then look at things from all angles. And once he has, the light of his aura, the aura around his head lights up, that's showing, he's got that idea. This is what I'm going to do. This is the action I'm going to take. So I feel that might be this energy here, getting ready to take action. Now, we have someone delivering some information. It could be an investigation or something about these lovers. I'm not sure. This could be a private eye. that maybe the King of Wands is hired for wanting to see what's going on. He, maybe thinking this is what I thought I have, but I don't. Yeah, we'll just keep going and we'll see. We have the Six of Wands, and this is representing victory. And so this is sitting on the King of Wands and the Hangman. So whatever stuck energy is here is unstuck now, and it's starting to move forward. And this is talking about victory. And you know, we can see here that we have 6 wands, and the people in the background, they look, some of them, a little bit disgruntled, but you can clearly see that the person who won is this person, and she has, you know, she's proud, and she is in a leadership role, and the reason is because she's been able to rein in her emotions. That's represented by the horse energy here. And, you know, like, look at the difference between that energy and this energy. So these people, like, say this was for a job promotion. These people might have really wanted that position too, but they have to admit that she did do a really good job, and she, you know, she came out as a clear leader. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. So the 8 of Pentacles is talking about someone who's hard at work. And you know, I just said the Pentacles aren't just about money, and they aren't. They're about lifestyle. But this is representing someone who's been hard at work, making money. And literally to the point where this card shows, it's the only card that where the person is actually pounding out a coin and making money. And so this energy can be a project that you've been working on, and you have 6 pentacles and you just have 2 to go, or you only just started and you have this to go. It's interesting because we have 6 pentacles here, and we also have these 6 pentacles here that he's already managed to complete here. So this could be this energy here, really, really focused on making money at this time. We have transition coming in. So the Death card, a lot of times people get frightened by it. This energy is regarding, you know, actually one cycle ending and a new cycle beginning. So death and rebirth. It rarely means that an actual death happened, but a lot of people see the Grim Reaper and they panic. And like this, it's more, you know, it's more about one cycle ending and a new one beginning. And this is bringing in change, definitely. Like, it's a big transition. So it's the death of something in the beginning of another thing. And this older person is bartering with the Grim Reaper, saying, "Hey, we don't want your change. Can we give you something? You know, would you like a nice cup of tea?" And the Grim Reaper's like, "No, I'm coming through town." And these young ones, though, they are like happy to see him. And the one even has a flower, and this is representing the bloom of new life, and how, you know, there always is rebirth, and there's going to be change coming in whether we like it or not. And we do have a king that's been trampled here, but this energy represents not an actual king being trampled. It's talking about systems. And, you know, we're seeing all over the world right now. We had the files come out, and we have a lot going on in the planet right now. And we're seeing a lot of truths coming out about the elite. And a lot of people said, "Oh, that'll never, you know, they'll never be held responsible," or whatever. And they're wrong. Like, justice is coming in. The truth is coming out. It's not, it's a little awkward. It's a little slow. It's maybe not in the way we thought it would happen, but it is starting to happen. And there is that kind of a shift going on in general, and could be also in your personal life. We do have a situation where there's 3 cups spilt, and this energy quite often, it's sitting right on the Lovers and this decision, you know, that's so hard to make. I'm almost getting an idea that she's hired this Knight of Swords as a private investigator or a private eye or whatever, to see if someone's been cheating. It could be that energy. So maybe it's her, or who's wanting to know if the king has been cheating, or it's him wanting to know if she's been cheating. And so there's 2 cups with wine in them, and then there's one that has another liquid in it. And it may as well be poison, because it's poisoned the relationship. This is in the ground. There's no getting this out. And whoever this is in a lot of regret and remorse. Now, this could be either one of them feeling that way for various reasons. And you know, a person could stand here and regret for the rest of their lives, but there's a saying, you know, don't cry over spilt milk, because you can't get it out of the ground. It's lost. And so the best thing to do is turn around and be grateful to see, oh my goodness, there's 2 cups still standing. I still have this. I'm going to go down the path here over the bridge over troubled water and go and heal at my castle. Now the castle is half dilapidated and half standing, but this is also representing, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Like, what kind of attitude are you going to have? Because it's going to require a good attitude to heal from this energy. And if this isn't about romantic love, it could be, you know, about a business partnership where something happened and you really love your business, or it could be something that happened in your family. But quite often this is representing a third-party energy in a relationship. And now we have the soulmates coming in here. So the soulmate energy is talking about 2 people who, it's sitting on this lover energy. I feel that this comes in. I feel that once the information comes in, either one of these 2, whatever energy this is, it's at least one of them is saying, I still want this in my life. And I'm willing to look at things from all perspectives. I'm willing to do the inner work, and I'm willing to work hard to make up the money so that I can get back on my feet and have the lifestyle I want. I'm willing to, you know, put this transition to an end, do what I need to do, and then start a new beginning and open my heart back up to love. And then we have the soulmate energy coming in, and we have 2 cups here. And so this is, they're toasting each other. And this, you notice we have this angel at the top here, which is looking very much like this angel here. So this energy is about being brave to be able to, you know, entertain love again. And the soulmate energy is two souls that are together. And this is generally a healing energy. This is talking about 2 soulmates. So they have made an agreement, possibly in the ethers, that they would meet at some point and empower each other to stay on their destined path. And you know, do you notice, I just noticed this, like that the background energy is very similar to this energy, like it's just down the road. I don't know. I've never noticed that before. So could this energy be running by, could the Knight of Swords be running right by them, by, you know, right by their place, and it's not far from the King's? I've never noticed that before. All right, so we have the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is talking about a traditional structure of justice coming through. And so, of course, justice starts on the spiritual realm, and it comes down to the physical. And so the Hierophant is responsible for distributing justice. He, if you're more of a religious person, this could represent, you know, people that are in charge of your church, like bishops, cardinals, Pope, you know, high up energy, gurus, rabbis, all the different, you know, church leaders. If you're more on the spiritual end, this could represent, you know, going inward, prayer, meditation, and connecting directly to Source, to the Most High, and then bringing that energy down into the 3D, so that, you know, this would represent the courts and authority figures within the courts. And it's the Hierophant's job to bring that justice in through the legal system. And we have the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords energy is kind of a little bit, you know, I do feel it's sitting on top of here for a reason. And it looks like, yeah, there's a transition after this energy happened. And you notice that this is sword energy here, and this energy here is right above this person here. So there could have been, like, quite often this card can talk about taking a risk. So maybe it was her, you know, took a risk, and now she's like, oh, I was a big mistake or whatever. This sometimes talks about cutthroat competition. It can talk about taking a risk to get what you want. It can talk about having conflict with others and, you know, winning the battle, but at what expense is, you know, and that could be what the regret is about. Sometimes this can represent like really, you know, and it ends something, whatever the risk was. So that most definitely could be, I feel this could be her energy. That was the one that maybe was in a third-party relationship, and it's ended for whatever, it's ended her relationship with, and I feel that might be the King of Wands energy. So for, you know, there we were saying he's playing the field, and it may be actually his spouse or girlfriend or whatever this is. And so this is the energy of, you know, the inner conflict can cause outer conflict, and outer conflict can cause inner conflict. And so this is talking, this can be 3 different versions of yourself, and the 3 different minds that basically we have. Like we have our subconscious mind that's formed by the time we're about 6 years of age, and that is heavily imprinted on us when we're babies, but we don't remember anything much from that at all. So it's babies are like, you know, a newborn baby is like a sponge. Like look what they learn in 1 year, and so they suck in their environment like a sponge, and they soak that in, and also the values and the culture of, you know, their parents or the people that are in charge of their care. And so that energy is heavily imprinted on us, and we carry, you know, it's formed by our subconscious mind is formed by the time we're 6 or 7, and it's heavily imprinted on us. And when we get into situations where we're triggered and we have conflict and stuff, that's the mind that we tend to rely on. And really, in many ways, it's the most unreliable, because it's really the thoughts of the people that looked after us when we were young, not our own thoughts in some ways. And then this is also talking about the unconscious mind, which is your soul. And your soul, your spiritual side has needs. And you know, a lot of people will say, I'm, you know, a human being and I have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body. And that's your vehicle to navigate around Earth. So if the soul's needs are not being met, they start that mind, the unconscious mind, starts getting very loud and arguing with the subconscious and the conscious mind. What about me? What about my needs? And the conscious mind is what you're aware of. You know, I just had a fight with these 2 people and I won. Like that type of energy. It was cutthroat energy. It was a hard battle. And then we have this energy of the Knight of Wands coming in. So this is a rebel with a cause, coming in with information. Now this would be, you know, the Knight of the Kings coming in with information about this huge conflict that happened. Interesting. And then the Hierophant is over here between the soulmate and this third-party energy and lovers. So whatever this is information coming through. The rebel with a cause, you see very different energy from like this energy. He's got the red plume on his hat instead of the red flag. He's learned to control his temper and to rein his impulses in. His horse, he's holding his horse back. He's not forcing it to run through barren land, which represents desert energy. And, you know, this energy also, you can see his whole wand, and there's, you know, the sky is clear. There's not like this ragged, jagged energy. And this, the pyramids in the background represent his love of knowledge and, you know, being able to explore the mysteries like the king. Very similar energy here. And the pyramids represent, you know, the wonders of the world, and gaining knowledge as he goes and becoming a stronger and stronger influence. So some sort of information, passionate action is being taken or has been taken. There is definitely some energy here about this victory. So it could be about that kind of energy. That, hey, this person's been victorious. And this energy can also represent that, you know, maybe there was a lot of gossip and a bunch of disgruntled people, and this is just talking about you being able to rise above that by controlling your emotions and not, you know, not letting it get to you to the point where you weren't able to work or be able to do anything. And we have, and you stayed on your journey. It's saying, like, this is talking about the star energy is representing someone that is on their destined path. You've done your best to be on that destined path. Now, this could be the king, because this energy would be coming from him. And so this is, and it's sitting right above him. So this could represent the energy that adding your own unique qualities to the universal pool and then pouring that out on earth. And there's 5 streams here. And those 5 streams represent the points on the pentacle. So maybe, well, the King of Wands was hard at work. His partner was having an affair with someone. It could be possible. And he has, now is this his, I don't feel this is his energy though. It could be, but I feel like he would, well, maybe not. It could be that he's having a real hard time. He never thought that this would happen. He never thought this person would do it to him. Because he was keeping control of himself for a change. You know, he's thinking, man, I waited all these years to be to settle down, and I end up being not the one that's cheating. Like, that's weird. And so the Queen of Pentacles energy is coming in. And so this is representing having to be resourceful, yes, and that might be why having to go hard to work, because of course if people get divorced, you have to divide assets, that type of energy. And maybe, you know, this could represent both of the energy, but there's definitely something that has happened. And if it's not about romantic love, for some of you, it might be about a business that you really love, and there was some sort of cheating in the business energy, if you know, like that kind of energy, and you've had to be very resourceful. The Queen of Pentacles is known to be very resourceful. She can make something out of nothing. She prefers quality over quantity, and so she's not flashy with her money, and she comes from generational wealth. So I've always wondered, why does she have to be so resourceful? You know, and perhaps because of situations like this, there could have been at some point, there was some sort of transition. You know, we think about, you know, all the things that can happen on Earth, right? Like there can be natural disasters, there can be war, there can be all sorts of things. The economy, like, you know, that would cause famine, because this is generational wealth generally. So it's a legacy you would pass down to your children and children's children, yet she's having to be very resourceful. And then look at, we have walking away here. So this is talking about walking away from something that you've put 8 cups of love into. And you know, if there's 2 here, you would have the 10, right? So I feel like it has to do with this relationship. Look, there's 5 lined up, really, everything's going hunky-dory. And then we have 2 cups here and a gap in between and a 3rd cup where, you know, so this could be saying that these 2 cups of love would bring it to 10 cups of love, but 3 of them spilled. These 3 toppled over. And so one of these energies walked away, and I feel like this one's considering walking away, and there could be a lover here that they're walking towards. You know, one of them might be leaving with the new lover. They feel that this is their soulmate, and for whatever reason, or it could be that this person, you know, like it's just finding someone later on. It doesn't necessarily have to be the person that they were having the affair with, or that, you know, that not, it might be, but it might not be. It depends on the situation. But here, this is talking about pre-Empress energy. So this is saying, after all this has happened, the energy, I feel that this is the energy. See, we don't really have we have the Queen of Pentacles here now. So the Queen of Pentacles has had to learn how to really be resourceful. And that was after someone walked away from her. I feel that's the energy. So this King of Pentacles may have walked away, and this may be the Queen of Pentacles energy here, because she's the only queen we have out here to match the King energy. Not saying that you would have to, but in tarot, usually if they go together like that, you know, okay, it's probably the case. But this is pre-Empress energy, and pre-Empress energy is talking about all 4 queens rolled into one person almost. That makes up the Empress. And the Empress reaches that status because she has been there, done that, has, you know, gone through a lot, and still managed to keep her shift together, managed to be able to pay her bills, managed to continue on and do her best to be happy and, you know, being a leader, that type of energy. But it has been challenging for sure. And, you know, this is always reminds me of Nikola Tesla. Like, if you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. And I feel like that's like what this falcon is representing. You know, it's having the foresight to be able to look at the big picture and be able to see, okay, you know, I need to look after the big picture, and then the details. So I feel this is that Nikola Tesla was talking about a ratio for sure. And, you know, she has her hand on these 6 pentacles. She's not giving any of these 6 pentacles away. She's because this is and I feel that this is talking 2/3 of what she has, she keeps, and the other third, maybe she gives 1 pentacle to charity and another one to a more risky investment to build her portfolio. So if it doesn't work out, she's not going to lose everything. She'll just lose like the money that she invested here, and she can afford to do so because she can still pay her bills. And then this is talking about maybe saving up for a vacation, that type of energy. So the pre-Empress energy is saying like maybe she's missing one of the lessons from one of the queens, and then she would be regarded to be like an Empress energy. And we have, this is an energetic upgrade. So even though this energy, she might have had to be resourceful and everything, this is like a huge, like when you learn that discernment, and you start understanding like how much to give, how much are you, time, money, and energy are you going to invest in a relationship that is totally unsatisfying? Maybe the person's been cheating, that type of energy. How much are you going to invest in a business where your partner isn't pulling their weight and you're doing all the work? You're tired, you're having to be really resourceful, there's missing money, you know, that type of energy. This could represent family members too, you know, from your original family. Like if it's so much of an effort to be able to, you know, have, you know, go to the family events and that, like, and you always end up sad after, and what, you know, in this conflict. There's always conflict at every family gathering. It's kind of like, yeah, I've been there, done that. I don't need to do that anymore type of energy. And then look at when I feel that was the final decision. Is it's not just about lovers. It's not just about business. It's also about your original family. And, you know, quite often, like this can be talking like the Empress is someone that looks after herself, and she looks at, quite often she's one that will also be, she manifests as a high level, so she can look after herself and others. But if eventually you have to choose yourself if it's not working out. And so this is like pregnant with possibility. She is planning to grow wheat. So the way she manifests is she would say, okay, is it going to be wheat or is it going to be durum? And what field would be the best one to put it in? And then, you know, does the soil need amending? Does the soil need, what does it need? Does it need fertilizer? Then she'd make sure all the stones and the rocks are picked so that the seeding and harvesting equipment doesn't get damaged when it's working that field, and plant it at the most opportune time. And then she waves her wand and says, okay, nature, you do your thing. She's an organic farmer, so she doesn't spray. So she's pretty much okay. She, you know, and she's known for having bumper crops because that's how she approaches life. She does the best that she can do with what she has. And then she applies that, does the best that she can do, and then she doesn't worry about it. She moves forward with her life and starts another project, you know, and moves on to energies, people, places, things that make her happy. And this is talking about being in this Empress energy, and maybe walking away from situations that, whether that be family, business, whatever, and saying, I'd rather be on my own than be dealing with a bunch of this shift. It's not worth it to me. I need to look after myself. I don't like being in this conflict. It's like I'm done. I just don't want to do it anymore. It's not worth it to me. The investment is, and the best investment is generally in yourself. And the magician is standing right beside her here, and he's saying, hey, you are meant to be happy. This is an energetic upgrade. This is talking about being able to create a beautiful garden. You have 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. You have all the tools on the bench that you need to create a beautiful garden in your life that's representing your beautiful garden. And you have the tools you need, but you need to learn how to use them and which tool to use when. And so this is pointing down to be like, if you have to walk away from certain things, you see he's pointing down, and he's pointing to leaving relationships that you can't trust, that cause this conflict in your life. Leaving that energy. How many chances are you going to give someone? And then being passionate about life. You're supposed to be having fun and enjoy life and be passionate, and not just working, like having to work hard your whole life and never be able to enjoy it because you can't count on the people that are close to you. And he's pointing down to the King of Wands. So I feel like the King of Wands maybe went with a lover or some sort of energy like that. And she's on her own now. And she's had to be resourceful, but she's starting to regain some of that energy back. She's gone from the Queen of Pentacles to pre-Empress energy to this energetic upgrade to this Empress energy now. So if she wants to attract someone that would be more fair, let's see what's up at the top here. Yeah, this wounded warrior energy, no more. This is talking about, she's managed to land 8 of these wands, and those 8 wands are the seeds that she planted for like here, and that this is all this hard work that she did brought her up to this energy. So if she decides that she wants to have that love in her life or whatever, she'll have a much better chance now of attracting what she wants to her. I feel like sometimes this could be a soulmate energy, but it could be like someone that they thought was, but I do feel like this is, it feels like the Queen of Pentacles energy is talking. This is what we're talking about at the top here. And I feel this is the energy that she's decided that, you know what, I just want to be on my own and do what I have to do to, I'll be resourceful. At least it could be like an energy where you're hard at work and you come, you're working your butt off to make sure that the bills are paid and everything, and then your partner is out and about wasting money on or gambling, or there could be some sort of issue like that. So from the bottom to the top and back down again, we have the Knight of Swords coming in with some information about soulmates meeting, and the Hierophant is here. This is a blessing for this to be dealt with. And it definitely has to do with lovers and a third-party energy, and a lot of sadness about it. It's causing a lot of conflict. Someone's walked away, and maybe they chose to walk away from each other here. But I feel like this energy is saying this is what was available, if they had both wanted it. But it got stuck. This energy wasn't stuck, and I do feel that that this energy can be representing the energy of both of the people in this relationship, contributing in their own way to the disruption of this relationship. It takes 2 to have like this really strong soulmate type connection, and so maybe they thought that's what they had, and it's ended up being like more like a battlefield really than you see this energy here. But you can see from here, whoever was in this energy down here, they managed to plant these wands. And that could be the King of Wands, because the King of Wands is, he thought he had this, but he's hanging on to his passion to move forward, and is victorious in doing that, and just went to work possibly, and he felt trampled. And maybe the energy of the Queen of Pentacles could be his journey, because it doesn't, I mean, this can be the energy of someone in their masculine energy in their intuitive mind, just as the king energy could be female in her masculine. And if this is happening, there could be an energy of having to be in that energy. So you would have to, they're all archetypes. So if you recognize this could be a woman in her masculine energy, and this Empress energy could be a male in their feminine energy, and the Queen. So turn it to however it is. But definitely I feel there was, energy that, and if it wasn't about lovers, I mean, we do have the lovers here, but lovers sometimes can represent choices that you make about the people that you choose to deal with. So I do feel for some people, because there's a lot of pentacle energy here, this could represent a business or something that you were working on. This could even be a family business, that type of energy. I'm going to clarify for those that want clarification. And let's see what we get here. The numbers on these cards represent, I started this oracle, Tales from the Vector, back in 2007. And in 2020, I completed all 64 paintings. And so the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed on my website, talesfromthevector.com, in the gallery. And I'll list them down in the description box below here. And so you can, in the order they appear, so if you're interested in taking a look at them, you can. We have, look at the sun is shining on this energy of learning how to invest the energy. Now that's something, because if God's shining his light on this, he's saying that you deserve to not be breadcrumbed in your lifestyle here. And making choices about who you give your energy to and who you don't give your energy to. So God doesn't usually condone, cheating on your partner. That's one of the 10 Commandments, right? So this could be, one of the two. It's hard for me to say, because I can see both sides of this story. So the jealousy is coming in. I'd rather be better than bitter, though. So this is talking about the truth has come out somehow. The gossip has spread or whatever. The third eye energy is sitting on this situation. So yeah, you need to use your, sometimes with a blindfold on, in this energy of being trapped here in a mental prison, that blindfold energy can represent an energy of you needing to use your intuition instead of looking at everything with your logic. And again, if this is not about a love relationship, this can sometimes represent, as I said, choices about people who you do things with that you love to do, and that could be passionate about a business. A tower does hit, and it says divorce, but this card is actually saying the worst divorce is from source. So the divorce, the tower is when a reality, it's when lightning hits the tower, and you can't ignore the situation anymore. So there was definitely this wanting to have this, and this represents having love after having hardship. So we have the Empress energy here. So I feel that this is the Empress energy that was in this energy here. And so this is talking, I feel this was the energy that was cheating. And this is dissemination. Elephant, what elephant? Yeah, that's when, you don't want to see it. This is my love is blind card. Dissemination of information is when there's an elephant in the room, but it's someone you love, and you really thought you had this, and then you find out you don't. And if this is a partner, there is some cards here that I want to point out, because we have, this could be investigation energy. And this is could be not mental prison, but actual physical prison. And this making money could be like literally like money laundering, white collar crime, counterfeit, that type of energy. We have the Hierophant coming in with justice, and we have all this conflict, and we have rebel with a cause. And so, you know, there are some cards here representing energies, but I feel this is more leaning towards people's relationships, like more of your significant other type relationship. Transition again. So we have transition here when the tower hits, and then, or no, we have transition here when this person decides to step out and take an action. And maybe the action she took was to get the have an investigation and take a look at what they have to say now, because her intuition was telling her something. Now, this also could be that the Empress is the one that that was the third party. That would be an Empress in reverse, but someone that, you know. So there's quite a few different scenarios here. So just, you know, remember that this is a general collective reading. It might give you some idea, though, what's going on. We have the Chariot. So this is coming in fast. And, you know, the Chariot sometimes also can represent the police coming in to arrest someone because of some illegal activity. We have the Wheel of Fortune turning in your... you know, this is God's plan, that whatever this energy is, that they're caught. So that's kind of interesting. So whoever got caught here, that was part of God's plan, that they would be caught so that the other person can actually have the truth, and they deserve the truth to be able to move forward in a strong way. And judgment is here, and this is God's judgment. So this is taking a little bit of a different turn. Someone... You know, this sometimes can be an energy where, you know, you have a soulmate that doesn't come through, a soulmate that pretends that there's, you know, someone who's a fake soulmate, that type of energy that came into this relationship. And that wouldn't even have to be like the king. The king might be sitting here on his own, and he doesn't have anything to do with this, and this is his partner having a relationship with someone that they think is the soulmate. And remember, this could be female or male, and vice versa. But God's judgment is coming in, and he's sending the Hierophant in. And the blessing in disguise is that this tower is going to make you have to take a look at the reality of your situation so that you can make strong choices. And we have the Pisces energy, an authority figure coming through. Sink or swim energy, and this is sitting on, okay, the Empress energy here. So the Empress is here and here. So this could be saying that after the tower hits, then the vibration of the person, this could be the Queen of Pentacles energy, or this could be the King energy, rising to the vibration of an Empress now because of everything that they've been through. So I feel like unfortunately, this is the story of a lot of different situations, and it also could be a business arrangement as well, or it could be both. You know, this could be entangled in it. I feel like on some level, for sure, there's some sort of energy of family involvement here, because we have that energy. Where was it? The conflict, the jealousy, the sibling rivalry, that type of energy. There was one other card here. I can't remember where it is now, though, that I thought that it seemed like it could be that type of energy. And then we have Capricorn energy. So this is about being responsible, seeing the possibilities and the challenges. This is the healing end of it. And this is the kind of the route that the Magician took. So it's like this being ambitious, the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, rising up to Empress energy. So I do feel that basically, you know, whatever has happened, you would know if this is your reading. And this is talking about a lot of distraction. You know, like, whoa, taking people like left, right, and center off their past. And I feel like it's also talking about how it is in the world right now. Like this is just like so much more common than, you know, or we see it in the news a lot. We see it in, you know, in society a lot. It's just, and you know, we'll see it sometimes on social media where people actually get on social media and they talk about how they broke up with their partner, and you know, and it's like, whoa. There's a lot of information there about like you know, sitting there and giving like all the real details on the internet, you know, that type of energy. And so I feel like it's just saying like the state that we're in now in general, a lot of truths are going to be coming out. I feel that a lot of that is because of the Gemini energy. I want to point out, because Uranus moved into Gemini about 2.5 weeks ago, and that energy wants truth to come out, and it's going to be with us for another 7 to 8 years. And I feel like there's some sort of shift happening in the spiritual realm that is causing the truth now to come out more. And I just wanted to say before I leave here that when I have horoscope signs coming out, I want you to understand I'm not saying it was those individuals. I'm talking about, we have all of the signs in us somewhere. And if you ever get your birth chart done, you'll see that. Sometimes we don't have all of them, but we have most of them. And so we can learn from the other signs and not, you know, I'm not saying this was an individual. In your own personal reading, you can say, oh no, Colette, it was a Capricorn and it was a Pisces. And, you know, that would be up to you. I want you to understand that's not my goal. My goal is for us to be able to learn from each other, basically, and realizing that we're more alike than we think because we all have this energy. So, you know, this is a matter of degree. I feel like it's telling the story of society more than really the energy of just one person. It's just saying, like, look how many people it involves, you know, like when one person makes a choice, maybe in an impulsive way, and then boom, this is the, you know, the aftermath that it has to be dealt with. So I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. Give it a like and comment if you have. I would really appreciate it if you did. It really does help me to build my channel. Consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. And I'll be back with another reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.